Hello, everybody. The Quiet Atheist here. This next story that I want to share with you guys is a little disgusting, but before we get into this video, I wanted to take a minute to talk about Christianity. I have had a lot of people in the past and present here on YouTube who have approached me and asked me, why am I so angry with Christianity? Or why do I have so much hostility towards Christians? And I have to admit that there are a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that sticks out for me the most is the fact that Christians really don't have any passion for humanity. They don't have any passion for their fellow human beings. In fact, I think that they are so busy looking through a toilet paper roll that they really don't pay attention to what's around them. Now, personally, I think that this is a growing problem in this country, and I think that a lot of people have to look for ways to solve this problem because it's going to get worse, plain and simple. Now, like I said before, this story is very disgusting, and I know that there are going to be a lot of people in the comment section of my video wanting to argue with me when I say that a lot of conservative Christians in this country are anti-women. Now, a part of this story I want to share with you, and it involves a woman who was basically put in prison for 33 years in El Salvador for having a natural miscarriage. Apparently, these religious people were so offended that they had to take her to court and prosecute her for having a natural miscarriage, therefore putting her in prison for 33 years. This is ridiculousness at its finest. And to me, this is completely unnecessary. But the story in this article will be in the description down below. Now, there's a couple of other things that I wanted to go into a little bit more detail with you guys, because all of this ties in directly to what conservative Christians are trying to do. Republicans across the country have openly called for outlawing all forms of abortion, including miscarriages. In Kansas, conservatives attached an amendment to House Bill 2613 last spring that would create mandatory reporting requirements for miscarriages that occur at medical facilities or for the physician who sees a woman immediately following a miscarriage. In short, women would have their names entered into a database if they have a miscarriage, like they are a bunch of criminals. These Christians think that it's necessary to put these women on a registry simply because they have a natural miscarriage. It's ridiculous. In 2011, Georgia Republicans sought a law requiring law enforcement to investigate miscarriages that hospitals would be required to report to them. Another ridiculous situation at hand here. A lot of these Christians in this country right now are trying to get laws passed that are so ridiculous that it would literally make the lives of women miserable. It would make them impossible to live. And this is something that has been an ongoing problem in this country. And personally, I think that it should stop. These conservative Christians do not deserve any kind of position of power, plain and simple. Tennessee Republicans tried to do the exact same thing in 2012 with a bill that would have required the prosecution of women who have miscarriages and would have criminalized them, natural or not. And then Tennessee Republicans actually made criminalizing miscarriages a horrific reality. These particular Christians really don't care if it's natural or not. They don't care if a woman has a miscarriage. According to them, it's illegal, and they're going to prosecute these women and possibly put them in prison. Now, this is something that has always made me angry. It really has. These particular Christians really upset me when they think that they can implement their religious nonsense in society as we know it. And a lot of people need to be aware that this type of thinking is destroying our country. It really is. And hopefully one day these things can be stopped. Because currently in this country right now, I think that there are a lot of conservative Christians out there who are trying to, like I said, get a lot of ridiculous laws passed. And it is something that I have a problem with big time. They are doing these things because this book of fairy tales promotes this type of nonsense. And I know that there are going to be a lot of people who are basically going to tell me that I'm taking it out of context. No, that is not the case. I don't agree with you. And like I said before many times, that if these individuals are successful in ridiculous laws that they are going to pass, life is going to be very difficult for a lot of women. And personally, I think that's not fair. It really isn't. These individuals really don't have a ground to stand on when it comes to telling another individual what they can and cannot do. They even tell men what they can and cannot do, and I don't see that as something acceptable at all, plain and simple. These individuals need to really get a grasp on reality. They need to have compassion for their fellow human beings. Otherwise, it will not work. Plain and simple. They're just going to make things more difficult for everyone else to live. And they really don't care because they are too busy living for a reward in the end. And that is pathetic. It really is. And for all of you women out there who are for this, you are hypocrites because you're letting these individuals ruin the lives of your fellow women and you're allowing it. And that is disturbing to me. It really is. So, with that said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And like I said, in this article, it contains all of these ridiculous bills. And then on top of that, it contains the story of that woman in El Salvador who basically was put in prison for 33 years for having a natural miscarriage. They also want to prosecute women in this country for having stillborns. It's something that is completely ridiculous and it makes me angry to no end. All for a fairy tale book. That's it. Religion is something that has no place in government. It should never have a place in government. It doesn't belong there because these types of things happen all of the time. And the only lives that are getting ruined here are women and other men who stand up against this. And that's all I have to say. So, like I said before, please feel free to share this video with anyone that's interested. Till next time, the Quiet Atheist is out. And if you can be good at it. Most of all, thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.